What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about 5 things to avoid in London. This advice is really directed at people just like me, those of us who have never visited London or the UK for that matter. We just spend our whole lives here in our American dungeons watching YouTube videos all day. and we love it, by the way. But eventually the time does come around where some Americans decide, okay, I gotta travel somewhere. What's a really popular place for Americans to go to? London, for sure. And when we do travel to London, we, without fail, fall for the same tourist traps. We all go see the most popular, the most sought after, the most commonly seen and done activities, and we spend money on that stuff. And this is a video kind of dedicated to pointing out some of the things like that you should avoid when in London. It's almost like stuff that London locals probably know about and see tourists doing a lot. So I'm very optimistic for this video. I hope thanks to this video, maybe I won't end up on some kind of random like famous bricks tour in London. I'll be like, London stinks. This tour is so boring. No, that won't happen now, hopefully. But joking aside, I am excited to see what kind of stuff you should not do in London. So let's take a look.
So in this video, I'm going to tell you 5 things I think that you should avoid when you're in London, and also some great alternatives that I think you'll enjoy better anyway.
Oh, that's kind of nice. It's not all negative stuff. She's also going to point out some things you should do instead, maybe. Wow.
Let's start with the view from the Shard. The Shard, behind me, is the tallest building in Western Europe.
What? Wait, what? The Shard. I feel like I've never heard that name before in my entire life. The Shard, tallest building in Western Europe. That's very specific. It's not the tallest in Europe, but in Western Europe. I've just never... There's a massive, humongous, gigantic, tall building in London with a cool name that I didn't know about.
You can pay £32 per person for a ticket to the view from the Shard, which of course has amazing views over London. It's obviously the highest place from London that you can get a viewpoint.
It's the highest place in London. Oh, I would 1000% like go to this. I would fall for this. Is this something you should avoid? I feel like this sounds really cool. Am I like falling hook, line, and sinker? Am I falling for this tourist trap? Like, but I don't even care. I'm okay with being taken advantage of if it's really cool. This just seems cool. Is there something you should do instead of this?
But you're gonna pay that ticket amount and you'll basically go up there, get your pictures, and call it a day.
Yeah.
I have a better alternative for you.
Oh, wow.
Instead, go a few floors down in the same building and book yourself a table at Gong, a luxurious Chinese-inspired cocktail bar where you're gonna have almost the same views as you would up at the view from the Shard, but instead of only paying for the ticket, you can take that money and get yourself a cocktail. And
Wait, this is a restaurant, like in that building? It's just on a different floor. Oh, this is like a hack. This is like a London hack. So you basically get everything the same, except you're not purchasing a ticket to the Shard. Is that like the tallest part of the building? Or is the whole building called the Shard? Anyway, you get to go in the building for cheaper, and you get alcohol and food. Sounds good to me.
they're really good cocktails here. But if you've got the kids in tow and you don't want to take them to the bar, that's fine. You could instead book in for a special afternoon tea up in the sky at one of the restaurants in the Shard called Ting. The afternoon tea here is amazing.
Whoa. Yeah, you can get... Wow, okay. So you are getting to go into the Shard. I was like, how is there some kind of world where you would not want to visit this amazing building? So it's like... The advice is to avoid the super expensive, obvious, like, tour to the top. There's a million floors on this thing with cool stuff and great views. That's good. I would have definitely fallen for this. This is like really good.
Highly recommended. Have you ever seen one of those hop-on, hop-off tours?
Huh.
Those big buses with the open tops filled with tourists who are just going around the loop seeing the biggest tourist attractions.
This is so funny. This this is literally a bus ride designed for tourists. It's like the most touristy thing you can do. I don't blame people for doing this. It's like you travel to London and it's probably overwhelming. It's almost like, I don't know what to do. Someone just tell me what to go see. Hey, I can hop on a bus and see everything. But is there a better alternative to like this kind of thing? A citywide tour?
Well, you can do that, but at 41 pounds a ticket, maybe that's going to be a bit too steep for you.
41 pounds? I think that's like $50 American. That is very expensive.
So instead, I have a much cheaper alternative. You can actually hop on one of our public red double-decker buses and get a very similar vibe, but for only £1.65 per ride.
Only £1.65 versus 40? Wow. So you don't get a tour guide, and you have to decide when you hop on and hop off, basically. But you do get this awesome experience of you're on a genuine London double-decker bus, which sounds like a fun experience, honestly. You get to be in a bus that has a second floor on it and cruise around London. Okay, I like this one.
In fact, if you take the route number 11, it goes by loads of the major attractions here in central London. So you can hop on and hop off as you please, or you can just sit on the bus and go around until you make the big circle and see it all.
Okay, I like that she mentioned the specific bus route 11 that takes you by a lot of stuff. Yeah, okay, I like that.
By the way, this video is sponsored by Google Pixel. I have been...
Sponsorship section? I'm sorry, we gotta skip that. I'm sure the Google Pixel phone is fine. I'm sure it's a good phone. Okay. Jeez, how long does this go for?
Anything more about the phone, and back to things that you should avoid and what you should do instead.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about Leicester Square.
Leicester Square. I've never heard of Leicester Square. Is this some kind of really popular, famous town square in London? It looks like there's a ton of stuff going on and a lot of people ready to sell you stuff. These are some nice portraits. Oh, man.
It's a funny one. It is right in the center of London, in between Piccadilly Circus, Covent Garden, Chinatown, and all these other areas.
Leicester Square. Man, there's so many parts of London that I feel like are super well known and super popular that I have still never ever heard of.
And it is the perfect area to completely avoid.
Oh.
It is a soulless square that is covered in international food chains, weird brands, casinos.
Oh no. So, I don't know. Well, is it okay if I like run through the square just to get the experience? Like, I won't buy anything. I won't fall for any of the tourist traps. I'll just sprint through it and be like, okay, I was at Leicester Square. So this is like basically purposefully designed to be for tourists. It has like as a freaking M&M's building. That's kind of obvious what's going on there. Giant M&M's world. M&M's world. Huh. That actually sounds kind of nice. Oh no, I'm falling for everything again, even though I know. So maybe the idea here is there's lots of other more obscure parts of London with all sorts of cool stuff that would be a lot more interesting and probably less populated than this.
And there's even the M&M store. Instead, I would go a few steps away to Soho, which is one of the buzziest, coolest areas in London.
Okay.
Also a few steps away is Chinatown, where you can eat really well, drink really well, and we've actually got a whole video telling you how you can spend an entire day in Chinatown.
Okay, cool. Soho, Chinatown. So basically, Leicester Square, is it called? That's like tourist central, and everyone knows it. and there's so many more areas of London that you'd be better off having like a more genuine experience, I guess.
Which you can watch next if you want some ideas for what to do there. So to summarize, there are much more interesting areas super close to Leicester Square, so you can completely avoid this while you're here.
Okay. All right.
There are 4 attractions here in London that often get put together in these ticket bundles that, frankly, are terrible.
Really?
They're soulless. They're experiences you can do in many other parts of the world. They're not particularly very London focused, and they're really expensive.
Wow. This makes so much sense too. It's just funny hearing somebody like, it's like she's grabbing you by the head and like shaking your head like, listen to me. It's going to sound like a really fun time, but don't do it. You can do that anywhere in the world. Like go on a boat ride or something. Like what? Like what? I'm actually curious what it is that is bundled up in these tickets, in these bundles of experiences, but it's kind of a trap. Like you can do these things anywhere. There's much more London specific stuff that you should take advantage of when you're in London. All right, it makes sense.
I call them the Awful Four. And the Awful Four are the London Dungeon.
The London Dungeon? Wait a minute. Oh man. See, here's the thing. It's so hard to just pass up on some of this stuff because it has a great name, the London Dungeon. I have no idea what it is, but I already want to see it.
Shrek's Great Adventure.
Shrek's? Okay, Shrek's Adventure? I don't think I'd fall for that one. I mean, I like Shrek. I like the movie. I don't think that's what I'd be doing in London, though.
The London Aquarium.
The London Aquarium? Really? Man, I guess there are aquariums in every major city in the world. Okay.
And that creepy wax museum, Madame Tussauds.
Wait, what? The fact that it's creepy is kind of funny. Like, that'd be actually kind of fun. Wax museum? That'd be tempting.
There are so many other better things you can spend your money on in London.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you about 4 better ways to spend the 30 to 40 pounds you would have paid per ticket.
Okay. I feel like this is good for me. Like she's literally speaking to me like I so badly want to go into the wax museum and Shrek's Adventure. And it's like, okay, I get it. This is good. There's better stuff out there when you're in London, for crying out loud.
For the Awful Four. Number 1, booking afternoon tea.
Oh.
You can find very affordable afternoon teas around the city,
Yeah.
most of which are kid-friendly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome. See? As soon as she starts mentioning these other activities, I'm immediately swayed. Afternoon tea does not exist in the United States. That'd be such a fun experience to experience my first afternoon tea in London. Probably some awesome places you can go. It's just not something that they'd bundle into some kind of pre-made London tourist package. Okay, this is good.
Number 2, get tickets to a West End show. We have amazing theater shows here, and you can find tickets in that price range for sure if you book in advance.
They have Harry Potter, like the musical? Or like Harry Potter on stage?
Or you do last minute. Number 3, go see some live jazz at Ronnie Scott's. You got a
Ooh.
world famous establishment right in the heart of Soho. You got live music,
Wow.
and you got good drinks.
Cool.
It's perfect.
Cool.
And number 4 is right behind me. This is the Tate Modern, a contemporary art museum, which is actually completely free to enter.
It's free. Tate Modern. Never heard of it. I don't know about... Personally, my appreciation of art is all over the place. I actually like the whole modern art idea of modern art museums, because the stuff in there is so strange and off the wall that it's actually super entertaining.
But if you want to take that ticket money and spend it on something, you can see one of their paid exhibitions or go crazy in the gift shop.
Okay.
Next up on
Oh, okay. The gift shop's okay. All right, fine. Suddenly, the most touristy thing imaginable is okay again. All right.
the list, the London Eye, what used to be the tallest Ferris wheel in the world, and now that spins people around in glass capsules for 30 minutes at a time.
30 minutes? You're trapped in that thing for 30 minutes? Maybe that's the worst part of it, but it's a giant Ferris wheel in London. It's called the London Eye. That'd be really, really hard to resist going to. I feel like there's two levels to this whole thing. Sometimes you go in and you know that you're gonna be doing these overdone, touristy things, but that's okay. So I actually feel like I don't know what she wants me to do instead of the London Eye, but even if it's a little boring, even if it's a little overpriced, I don't know if I could resist.
That's all well and grand, except for one, you gotta pay up to 36 pounds per person to get on it.
Why is Shrek everywhere?
Two, you still have to queue up, even if you have a reserved time slot. And three, you're stuck in this capsule with like 25 other people for 30 minutes at a time.
Oh, you're in there with other people as well. I did not know that.
Instead, a great alternative is the Sky Garden. At 160 meters or 525 feet above ground, this is actually 25 meters higher than the London Eye. Sky Garden is the tallest garden in London, and it's also one of the tallest viewpoints in all of the city.
Wow, okay. I like it. Okay, I was skeptical at first. I like it. I've never heard of the London Sky Garden. Makes me think, and I'm glad I'm thinking this way now, there's a lot of really cool places that are really similar to the overpopulated, over touristy, famous places that everyone goes to. There's a lot of experiences in London that you just never hear about. So I'm actually real glad to have discovered this little video here.
With 360-degree views of the city skyline.
Yeah.
And the best part is that it is completely free to visit. You just have to make a reservation in advance, which those do book up quickly, so make sure you do them ASAP.
Cool.
Or if you don't manage to get a reservation, you can try to get a walk-in on the day and see if they have any spaces available.
Cool.
I hope this helps you to avoid the not so good stuff and go do some much better stuff when you're here in London. And if you want some more tips for your London trip, then
Wow, that was really, really good. Okay, I'm convinced. I was very skeptical about some of this stuff. By the way, this was by Love and London, and I'm giving that a like. That was fantastic. Man, I felt like she had to grab a hold of me and drag me through this video, and the whole time I was going, well, that actually seems kind of fun. I want to go on Shrek's adventure, and I'll sit in a Ferris wheel for 30 minutes and get sold caricature paintings in Leicester Square. Go ahead, take advantage of me. I'm here for it. But by the end of this, I think I was seeing the light. I think there is a time and a place for some of the touristy things, and they do offer genuine, like, cool experiences. But the most important takeaway I got from this video was there is so much more stuff to do and see that is just as fun and just as cool as the popular stuff, except you gotta go a little out of your way to learn about it. And if you take some time and discover those things about London, you're gonna be really, really well rewarded with some unique experiences, some more authentic London experiences, and probably smaller crowds all around. So I loved this. I thought this was fantastic advice, honestly. So I really enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your opinion on things to avoid in London, dare I say. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK culture, stuff in the UK I have never learned or seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.